لو سجنوا جسمك يا محارب أو غطوا منك العيون تبقى الحر.
Colonialism / settler colonialism will continue for as long as it is allowed to thrive. The only reason the French were forced out of Algeria, the only reason the British were forced to pack their bags and move away from India was because of internal pressure. Internal pressure which reached a boiling point which they couldn't handle. So they had to vacate the stage and allow these nascent nationalist movements from within their territories to sort of take their own path and forge their own trajectory. So as long as pressure is not applied on Israel, as long as Israel is allowed to continue its campaign of brutality and violence and collective punishment against the Palestinians with immunity, with impunity, they will continue, as is the proven pattern of all colonialist / settler colonialist states. The South African example, there are some differences and dissimilarities, but the main point here is until pressure was exerted from outside and from within, then the South African apartheid regime continued with its activities unabated, unimpeded, unabashed, without any sort of moral qualms. But when popular pressure and resistance mounted from outside and from within, they were forced to rethink their strategy. So the example is like a thief. A thief won't go into a house and say, I'm only going to take £500 from the homeowner and I'm going to leave £500 for him to pay his rent and bills for the next month. If he has a satchel big enough to take everything, he'll take it. And if he has to go outside and bring another one and put it in the car and take more, he'll do that until he is physically stopped. So the state of Israel will not stop until it is physically stopped or pressured to stop. Now, the good thing here is Noam Chomsky has said there are parallels between what's happening now in Israel and what happened in South Africa a couple of decades ago. In South Africa, the apartheid regime was classed as an international pariah and an international outcast, meaning everybody saw the South African state, the apartheid regime, as a criminal, as an outsider, as somebody who doesn't belong within the international community. However, the only support they received, but the most crucial form of support they received, was international, financial and resource support from America and from the UK. And until the US and the UK weren't forced to accept the South African regime as an apartheid regime and as an oppressive state, then South Africa could continue. So Noam Chomsky says, even though the entire world might paint the picture of Israeli oppression, as long as the US will continue to support Israel, Israel feels like it has an entire huge, massive shield it can hide behind and screen itself behind. So this is the history of settler colonialism.